Hey guys, welcome to a new Goblins vs. Gnomes card review. And this is pretty ridiculous. There's quite a few very powerful cards that have been released and OP in almost everyone's opinions. But I'll start off with some of the lower ones. Not this, but there's a 2-mana 2/3 that's a mech, and called the Snow Chugger for the mage. It's freeze any character damaged by this minion. So this is pretty much a water elemental, just weaker. It's okay because 2/3 is good stats. It's a mech, which helps, and the water elemental effect is okay. But it's just sort of an average card. It's just like a balanced card that you would add. The next card is Whirling Zapomatic. It's a 2-mana 3/2 with Wind Fury, and it's a Shaman mech. This is pretty ridiculous because it has no overload. I would expect an overload 1 or 2, probably 1. Because there's a Dust Devil, it's a 1-mana 3/1 with Overload 2, so it effectively costs 3 mana for a 3/1 with Wind Fury, and it's kinda worthless. So you can coin this out on turn 1, and Mage has no way to deal with it. Like, Mage cannot ping it or anything, so they should probably turn this into like a 3/1 with Wind Fury, because that would still be better than Dust Devil, which is ridiculous. It's also a mech, which means it's going to have a lot of synergies. There's one down here, which I don't want to show. I'm going to show a few others. But here's one. It's the Dune Maul Shaman. It's a 4-mana 5/4 Shaman card with Wind Fury, which can deal 10 mana effectively, Overload 1, and 50% chance to attack the wrong enemy. That's why this thing is so strong. Wind Fury, okay, you can smack 10 damage, but if there's another target on the board, oh, you might hit the wrong enemy. So I don't know about this card. It's a really RNG related, and I don't really like it. I mean, I wouldn't run it, but it does seem pretty powerful. Next card is Ogre Ninja. It's a 5-mana 6/6 with Stealth and 50% chance to attack the wrong enemy. So I don't really see the point of the stealth if you're just going to hit the wrong target. I mean, you have a 50% chance to hit the right one. But the thing I like about these cards is that against taunts, it will always hit the taunt. And this is a rogue only card. So, yeah, it's an interesting card. These cards are interesting. I don't really know about them. I don't really know how I think about them. The next card is the Burly Rockjaw Drog, or Trog, and it's a 4-mana 3/5 with whenever your opponent casts a spell, gain +2 attack. This is okay, I guess. If 4/5 on a Yeti is considered good stats, then this is pretty good, because when the opponent casts a spell, you get 5/5, but the opponent has to cast a spell, so it's a good check to some cards. But then again, because your opponent has to cast the spells, they can cast as many spells as they want to kill this thing before it gets out of hand. They could cast like let's say it's a priest, they Holy Smite something else, and then Shadow or Death the Burly Rockjaw Trog, and yeah. So it's a pretty good card. It's not bad, but it's not amazing. Now here's this extremely overpowered card that a lot of people are complaining about, and it's Gazrilla. So last time they had a vote between a reindeer thing and Gazrilla, and Gazrilla ended up winning. So it's 7-mana 6/9, which is already good stats. Okay, an ogre, a boulder-faced ogre is a 6-mana 6/7, and that's considered good stats. So this, without its effect, is already an okay card. It's already a good enough card. On top of that, you add the Beast, meaning you can Houndmaster, you can Timberwolf, and a lot of things. And on top of that, you get, whenever this minion takes damage, double its attack. Which is ridiculous because this is 9 health. If Rag hits it, it won't even kill it, and it will get 12 attack. Which is pretty ridiculous. You can combo with Arcane Shot. You can kill command it to deal more damage. And you can use Wild Pyro, and you can play Wild Pyro, Arcane Shot it, and it gets 24 attack. If you have Tundra Rhino, the enemy will also be destroyed. And like, this is pretty powerful. Like, sure, Shadow or Death deals with it, but you can't forget that there are new spare part cards, and one of them is a cloaking device that allows you to put this thing in stealth, which is pretty ridiculous. You put this thing in stealth, and it's pretty much just Miracle Hunter, except much more effective than every other miracle ever. Yeah, like back when Miracle Rogue was running rampant, that was like really annoying, but this seems to get a little out of hand. I mean, Foe Reaper is an 8 mana 6/9, and it doesn't like Foe Reaper is 8 mana and this thing's 6 mana. This thing's 7 mana and it has such a good effect. I don't really know. And this effect works so well with hunters too because you really just want to hit face. So I don't like this card. I don't like this card. I mean, Hunter, I like playing, except Hunter's already getting a lot of hate. So Hunter used to be so strong, then they had to nerf a card by 3 mana, which is pretty ridiculous. They turned Starving Buzzard from a 2 mana 2/1 to a 5 mana 3/2, which is pretty ridiculous. It's a ginormous nerf, and everyone was like, okay, Hunter's gone now. But now Hunter like helped Amaz carry him to rank 1. It's running rampant everywhere. Then there's like, even if you try to nerf Hunter completely, nerf a core part of Hunter, it still exists, and there's still so many Hunter decks that are alive, and adding this kind of screws it up. Unless every other class has a legendary that's just as good, then I don't know. Seems to be a ginormous game of one turn kill OTKs. And Blizzard even said they don't like OTKs, so I don't know what they're thinking with Gazrilla. Yeah. But that's pretty much it. I just want to rant about Gazrilla. Yeah, it's really OP. Come on, man. Like, through the previous turns, you should be able to deal 6 damage, and then you play it. You have a spare part cloaking device. You save that in your hand until you play it. You play it, and turn 8, you cloak it. Then the next turn you double Arcane Shot it and smack their face and win. Or you Wild Pyro, Arcane Shot it, smack their face and win. Or you Wild Pyro, Arcane Shot it. And keep in mind, if you have a temporary attack buff like Direwolf Alpha, Timberwolf, it will actually double its attack with that included. Because much like Mad Scientist, if you have a temporary buff on something and you use Crazed Alchemist on that minion with a temporary buff, that buff will become permanent because you're switching the stats around. So, if this is raised to 7 attack from Timberwolf, then you hit it, it becomes 14 attack because it was buffed, and it keeps that buff and includes it as if it were part of its attack. And not only that, it's at 6 attack, so it's not in range of Big Game Hunter as well. So the only check to this is Shadow Word Death, but you can just cloak it. So yeah, even if you play Rag and it hits it, it won't kill it, which is ridiculous. And I'm hating this card. It seems way too powerful. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys all later. I don't like Gazrilla. It seems really OP.